throw it. McCarthy looking, throws deep, got a wide open receiver. Cornelius Johnson sprinting.
I love it.
Touchdown, Michigan.
Yes, sir.
I'm sitting right there.
75 yards. Play action. J.J. McCarthy lobs it wide open. Caught at the 10, 5, touchdown, Colston Loveland. Here's Edwards with a lay. Donovan Edwards down the sideline. Gets past Ransom. Donovan Edwards. Touchdown, Michigan.
Thought for sure he stepped out right
Here's
there.
the run again.
He wasn't as close as what he looked.
Low.
Oh,
Can they catch him? No. Donovan Edwards again, 85.
and did they lose a bunch of speeders? Edwards that fast?
I think Edwards is that fast. I mean, guys, I remember watching him last year against Maryland at least. I mean, he just outran him. Either that or
Like they couldn't even close. the
Either
gap.
that or they gave up, one of the two. I mean, I'd give up two when it was 38-23 against your rival in the fourth quarter. But yeah, guys, that's last Saturday, man. It was a different type of win, as me and you talked about, against Ohio State. Last year, it was that, hey, thank God this shit's fucking over. Like,
Right.
the fucking misery. And this year was more like, hey, fuck you, we're here to stay.
Yeah. That wasn't a fluke.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it was joyous. As everyone knows, Buckeye Nation was, until last night, was in pretty much, I'm pretty sure every single fan base in the world was on the Ohio State sideline, or fans was on suicide watch. I mean, just to watch him walk out of that stadium, walking past me, just defeated, didn't say a thing, just somewhat by me, good game. Like, just sad, sad as fuck. And I couldn't have been happier, man. I couldn't have been happier. I was like, yeah, motherfuckers, this is how it feels.
Right. Yeah, and a day or two after the game, I've seen a lot of tweets that had some version of this. Man, it's been too that you guys do this for this long. I'm ready to kill myself, type of deal. You know what I mean? And yeah, welcome to our fucking misery, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it was fucking 15 years of hell.
Right.
Sadly, that happened to just be right when I decided to get into Michigan football. But, fuck, feels good. Back-to-back Big Ten championship appearances. I mean, and going on the team. I mean, JJ can't throw the football. Well, we threw the football. Ohio State sold out for the football, or sold out on the run.
Right.
We're gonna stop the run. Okay, play man coverage. This game, actually, I was thinking about this the other day. I was talking to Aaron, and he said, I was like, this game really reminded me kind of that 2018 game where we lost 62-39, where we hit big plays down the field.
Yep.
And kind of pulled away late. Because if you remember, that game was not a blowout the whole game.
It was not, no.
And it was really the fourth quarter. About the same time we pulled away. You wear a team down and you kind of just get it. But that's football. That's dominance in football, is that wearing a team down. And I remember at halftime, after we hit, the Cornelius Johnson pass, the first touchdown, it was him. It was JJ, but it was also kind of him making that play.
Right.
He hit the second one, and I said, I remember going into halftime, I said, we're going to attack their secondary. And then, like, the first fucking play was that pass. Like, second and third play was that pass to Colston Loveland down the field for a touchdown. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. We can throw the football. Because, I mean, as we talked about before, I wasn't 100% sold on JJ's arm either. I don't think any Michigan fan personally was, because we hadn't seen it. At least on the deep ball. At least on the deep ball. Let me clarify that.
Yeah. More of a touch thing than his arm. You knew the arm strength was there. but he just he played, I don't know, a third of the snaps last year and showed us a lot more on the deep ball than he has as a starter this year.
Yeah.
Until last Saturday, and then it kind of come through. So, and it's not like he was perfect, right? He was still behind a little bit on a couple of those throws.
He went 12 for 24.
Right.
50%. So it's below his average.
Right.
By quite a bit, honestly.
But they had at least 2 tips. It might have been 3 or 4 of those count. There were some things that skewed. I don't remember us. I'm sure we probably did have a drop or something, but I don't remember. That's been a problem, especially Cornelius Johnson.
Yeah, I don't remember any drops. At least off the top of my head.
I don't either. So, great game top to bottom. And, one of the things that stood out to me is that second half, really fourth quarter burst was that Ohio State did what, well, they do to everybody, right? But they've done to us a lot over the last 15 years is, there's more games than not have been fairly close for an extended period of time. And then they put up a bunch of points in a hurry.
Yeah.
And we gave it back to them. And that to me was the most satisfying part. Sitting at halftime, we're down 3, right? And I felt really good. I thought, okay, we're good. I expected it to be a back and forth 1-score game up until the end, and kind of whoever had the ball last type of deal. But again, I was fairly confident in us. But then just boom, 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 boom. And don't get me wrong, my nerves were tight, even though I was confident, because that's a stressful situation, right? But
I'll tell you right.
They did what we thought they were going to do.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now. When they went down the field and scored on their first drive of the game, and we didn't go down and score a touchdown, I was not happy at all. And I was back in, oh, here we fucking go again thoughts.
Right.
And because they were moving the football. And even on the drives where after that, before we scored that touchdown to Cornelius Johnson, they were moving the football and we weren't. Thank God for our defense, because our offense couldn't get out of that bus. I mean, that was also figuring out what Ohio State was putting out there. What the magical Jim Knowles, which I knew was not going to be good at Ohio State. He is like Don Brown, in my opinion. He's old.
It's the same base defense, really.
Yeah. I mean, he'll do great against smaller teams in the Big Ten. Every other team in the Big Ten,
right?
Except now Michigan, like as it was for Ohio State with Don Brown there towards the end.
Right.
Just stubborn, didn't want to adjust, and guess what? We adjusted and we made you pay for it.
Oh, yeah, and I mean, you look okay, dude. You're going to sell out on that run. They had 8-9 guys up a lot.
Well, look at I think it was the last. Yeah, it was the last Donovan Edwards touchdown. There was no safeties back there. They had the run like completely. They were selling out on the run for that, and I was like, I mean, I get it. It's 3rd and 3, but
right.
12, damn near 13 people. Well, not 13, but not notionally. You got 10 people in the box and 1 outside. That close up, like I don't think there was anyone deeper than the linebackers at that point.
There wasn't.
Like, on that play,
3 to 5 yards back. That's it.
And you mess up one assignment and don't hit your gap as a linebacker, or even the safety that's coming up on a blitz.
Right.
Bye-bye. And that's exactly what happened. And I said, in my opinion, I don't think you take that risk against the best offensive line in the country.
No.
And I think.
No, because you're right. They had to be perfect, right, to have a chance, and they weren't.
You can't fuck up. And
there you go.
That touchdown was by far the best touchdown. And honestly, other than like excitement wise, like a big touchdown in a big game, like like the Roy Roundtree touchdown, in my opinion, is a little different than this. But
That
to me,
one's bigger though.
I don't know. I don't know. To me, maybe to you, Mister. I was fucking right there.
Right there.
I don't know. To me, it kind of just that was when you just heard that stadium just be silent,
Oh, for sure. You could hear it on
and
TV.
it was just like someone popped a balloon and just took all the air out of it, and it was fucking awesome. But I mean, because at that I remember the dude behind me was really annoying, but a cool dude, but really annoying as a football fan. One of those people that knows football but doesn't know football, if you know what I mean. And he was kind of annoying. I mean, my main thing was on the Ronnie Bell pass. I literally when Ronnie Bell got the PI, I literally got into damn near a fucking spitting argument with the dude because he wanted to say it didn't touch his hand. Because I'll give you Ohio State fucking whoever's running their goddamn video boards are horrible.
Yeah.
They do not show replays like at all. That they showed it once, and I just happened to be looking up there because everyone's like, it was uncatchable. And I was like, I don't think it was. And I watched it, and you see it hit his hand. And I'm like, and I told him, like, it hit his hand. I was like, it hit his hand, dude. Like, that's not uncatchable. He said, the fuck it did. And I'm like, it did. So,
Great.
And I wish I wish that I had like some way to send him the video now and be like, hey, but I think so. I don't know. But real quick, shout out to Columbus. I mean, awesome time. Fans were fucking awesome. I mean, you had your normal just before you get back into normal bullshit, like, hey, walking down the street, oh fuck Michigan, and then going right back at it.
Sure, yeah.
But dude, it was other than University of Michigan. I mean, I've been, as you have too, been to some cool atmospheres in college football, let alone just sports. It probably ranked up in sports number 3 on my rankings, in college football number 2, and like atmospheres and like out there. And I guarantee it's probably just because like I wouldn't want to go there any other time unless it was for the game. I mean, the energy in the stadium, just all that. Number 1 would obviously be Michigan. Number 2 would be the World Series game. Well, until we got blown out. Not the World Series, the playoff game back in like 2000, whenever me, you, and Papa went.
Yeah.
That's probably number 2. Just the energy-wise and just the feel of like, hey, this is big. But yeah. Back to the game. I mean, if you actually look at the stats, other than like the rushing yardage, but that's really been the tall tale in this rivalry. Honestly, if you go back and look, I remember reading last year, I couldn't find the stat, but I remember them showing it on the broadcast last year was the last like 19 out of like 22 games in the rivalry had came down to the team that rushes the ball the most with the most
21 out of 22, they said.
Yeah, something weird. I knew it was something big, and that's why at first Ohio State was rushing the football, we weren't. In my head, I'm like, great, here we go. I mean, but if you take the rushing stats out of the game, you think we lose this football game.
Yeah, if you look at those stats and cover up the
23 to
team,
16
right?
first down. I mean, they out first downed us by 7. Penalties killed them. Penalties fucking killed them. I mean, but we'll take that.
I was surprised they threw the ball almost 50 times. That really, it didn't. I mean, that's what they do, right? But that really surprised me.
Oh shit, they did. Wow, I didn't know that either. I mean,
And that was one of the keys is Marvin Harrison Jr. ate, right, but he never really hurt us. He got a touchdown, but everything other than that was pretty much empty yards, and that's a lot of their yards going back where they moved down the field a little bit, but then when we had to get a stop, we did.
And they did, and that's our defense. On the defensive side, it reminded me how we played last year.
Yep.
We never really went 3 and out with them. We kind of just they get down the field, but once they cross that 50-yard line, that field gets shorter and shorter.
Yep.
It was that bend don't break mentality. And I mean that's what you got to do. I mean, you can give up the yardage, just don't give up. I said when they kicked the field goal to make it like 13-10 or whatever it was, I said hold them to field goals and we win this football game.
Yep.
I said you can give them a field goal every drive down. As long as we go down and score touchdowns, it doesn't matter.
Right.
I mean, that's really what happened. I mean, we held so-called the number 1, number 2 offense to 2 touchdowns all game.
Right.
Won a big play. One was on first drive of the game.
Yep.
Which, okay, cool. Got to make adjustments. Whatever.
Yep. And
Second
shout out
drive.
to Jesse Benner, right? He's been the best in the nation all year long, I think.
Oh, yeah.
At halftime adjustments. But he made adjustments on the fly after that first drive. He was ready, you know what I mean? To be like, okay, if this isn't happening, this is what we're doing. If this isn't happening, this is what we're doing. Instead of waiting until halftime. And to me, that was one of the keys of the game is that we adjusted right away and kind of leveled them out.
Yeah, I know. And I think he wins the Broyles Award again. Yeah. I think we have that again. I mean, let me think about this before I say it. On the defensive side of the football, I mean, I'll ask you this. Do you think Don Brown was his fucking Achilles heel on why we didn't have success beating Ohio State until this year?
I think so. I do.
Until last year. I mean, I do completely. I mean, you bring somebody else in with a newer, younger coach.
2 different guys, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was going, bring McDonald in. Right. McDonald stuffs them, hold them 27 points, which is great to hold an Ohio State team to 27 points with their offense.
Yep.
And then we lose him back to the NFL, back to the Ravens. Bring in Jesse Minter, whose defense last year at Vanderbilt was not good. But, again, it's Vanderbilt. Doesn't have the talent. I think last year they ranked 124th or something like that nationally, Vanderbilt did. And then he comes here, number 2 scoring defense in the nation. I think might be number 1. I haven't looked at the rankings here in a little bit. They were getting takeaways this year when they needed them. I mean, especially this game. I mean, I think it was since 2016 when Jabril Peppers picked off Barrett.
Yeah.
That was the last time we forced an interception against Ohio State.
Yeah. So,
I mean, it's – go ahead.
Going back to Don Brown, there was 3-4 years where we're a top 10, top 5 defense all year long till we get to a big game, Ohio State, and then, we get exposed. And I think, Jim Knowles, kind of the same thing. That defense, high risk, high reward, right, is great against teams that you're superiorly more talented then, but when you get somebody equal or more talented, it's too easy to expose. And it happened to us, and then finally we returned the favor.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if Knowles is gone, and they replace him with somebody else, because those guys, they just don't totally reinvent their scheme. He's going to do what he did, just like Don Brown did, and he made some adjustments, but he never got away from who he is, and you can't expect him to. So, maybe if Ohio State comes in here and makes some noise in the playoffs, if they do get in, maybe that saves his ass, and especially if they win the national title, that will. But if they don't get in, or they don't win a game, I wouldn't be surprised to see them go in another direction. I mean, these fuckers want Day fired, right? So,
if for somehow or some way that we play in the fucking playoffs, whether it's the first round or the second round in the championship, if somehow and we beat them, that motherfucker might get assassinated.
He might.
You might want to.
I still don't think he gets fired, but your buddy Aaron thinks
I think
so.
he's done. I think he's done if you lose the national championship to Michigan. And I mean, I don't think that I could possibly stomach. I think there would be a lot of almost throwing up in a Michigan Ohio State national championship game for myself. I don't think I can handle it. Because whoever loses that football game will never, ever, ever hear the fucking end of it.
Ever. And if they were to beat us, right, they can say, and they would be right. Oh, you can have that 23-point win at home. Yeah. We got the natty.
And that's completely right. Like
all you got to do is turn around and walk away with your head down because they're right. You got no argument for that, like you said, till the end of fucking time.
Oh yeah, in my opinion, it would be, it would. To me, as a fan, I'm not saying like it wouldn't take away us from the season. It would kind of take that win and not like it wouldn't mean as much as what it does as of right now.
Oh, absolutely.
It really wouldn't. Like you'd be like, oh, cool, we beat you guys in the regular season when it didn't mean fucking shit.
Right.
But now, and I mean, that's probably when, if we were to play in the playoffs, that's probably when we would meet. We'd be in a national championship game, as long as we don't get fucked over by the Big Ten, doesn't get screwed over.
Right.
In my opinion, they shouldn't. I mean, there were 17 million viewers of the game last weekend. Imagine the game national championship.
Right.
I mean, you're probably looking at 20 plus million viewers.
Yep.
If not more.
I wouldn't be surprised if it pushed like 25.
It's
because as much as I hate to say this, right? We're a worldwide draw, and so are they. I think to a lesser extent than us, a little bit, but the whole world's going to be watching that. That's going to be Super Bowl like. Everybody tunes in.
I mean, it's the same as when Bama and LSU played.
Yep.
I mean, this is obviously, as we all know, the game is the biggest rivalry in sports. But man, I don't think I can handle it.
So
I would almost be to the point. I would almost be to the point where I wouldn't want to watch the game. Almost.
So I was thinking about that this morning, and like the week up to that would be the hell, right? I think I would be fine once the game started, but especially that the night before and the morning of, my stomach would be in knots. Like we were out there suiting up, getting ready to play. That's how nervous I would be. So it'll be interesting to see. As you and I talked off air, I still don't think it's guaranteed they're in. Part of me hopes they are, because I would love nothing more than to beat them twice and beat them for the natty. But the flip side is I've told you this your whole life, and we talked about it the other day. It's really hard to beat a team twice in the same season. And it's, in basketball, it's 3 times or so, but it's really hard. It would basically be a month apart, right?
Yeah, January 1st. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So tough. And, we plan all year for them. They plan all year for us. And as Harbaugh said, I don't believe him 100% that he emptied out the playbook, but he's like, we emptied it out. So to come up with a totally different game plan to beat them would be tough, because I do think we're more talented right now, but I don't think that the gap's that big, right? And they were that punt that was a fake.
That's right. Yeah.
You give them that, and if their tight end, I think it was, if Sanders still doesn't tip away that thing, we're in a whole different ball game. 2 plays, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I mean, but stop right there real quick. Fucking Mikey Sanders still, baby.
Yeah.
Well, that was right in where I was sitting, where that play happened. We were on the 10-yard line right there, and dude, it was like he just came out of fucking nowhere. Which he did. He came from the opposite hash, got over there, and got his hand in there to Jack Stover, who was like a fucking shit brick house tight end. Like, looks like goddamn Georgia's tight ends. I mean, that, in my opinion, was play of the year. Last year was Eric Hall touchdown against Penn State. This year, it's the Mikey Sanders still pass breakup of Jack Stover. I mean, it's
hard to argue that, really.
I don't name a play that's better. Name a play that didn't save your season, because if Ohio State scores there, what happens?
Yeah, but so I think that same game, right? I think you could argue either one of Edwards' longest run is right there too, because
why though? We're up by 2 scores when Edwards breaks both of those.
We're up by 8 when Edwards breaks those,
okay,
right?
Yeah, it was when his first one. We were up by it was 10, and they kicked a field goal.
Yeah. So I think you can make an argument, but I do agree that Mikey's play was it.
Well, yeah, because if he doesn't get that, if he doesn't get there, it's a 3-score lead. We're only up by 3. Who knows what happens? The momentum's completely on their side, rather than a field
now
goal.
They're probably onside kicking, right? Just to try to, I mean, you can go on and on and on.
I mean, I can see the argument for Edwards' first play. I mean, you come out, they go downfield, kick a field goal, 8-point game. First play from scrimmage, you take it 75 yards.
Right.
I can see the argument, but in my thought process is that we are still up by a touchdown and 2-point conversion. We're up by 8 points with or without that touchdown. So there's no way they can beat us on one drive.
No, they can tie us up though.
But if Jack Stover catches that football, it's a 4-point game. Unless they went to 2. Would have been a 4-point game. They go down the field. All know Ohio State's offense can be fucking explosive.
Right.
They can go downfield and score a lot of points really quick.
Right.
You kick that.
Now the crowd's going nuts, right?
4-point game. They get a stop on that defensive drive. Watch out. We're up by 4. All they can do is go down and score a touchdown. They got a 3-point lead.
Yeah.
That's my thought process behind it, is that without that, they have all the momentum on their side with a chance to get the ball, with plenty of time to get the ball back and probably go score. Honestly, they got 2 or 3 more drives after that. But, that helps with Edwards running a 1-play drive and a 3-play drive.
Right.
But yeah. Mikey, should win, in my opinion, defensive if it won't happen just because of where we are in college football, like the way that college football ranking stuff are set up for players. The most is like defensive player of the year, whatever award that goes to the defensive player, and it should go to him. He's just because of the fact that he switched over from where last year in the game he was a wide receiver.
Like June, right? And was, I thought he was potentially all Big Ten, and I think he made third team. I think no, he made honorable mention.
Yeah, so he didn't make first, second, or third.
Yeah,
which is insane to me.
And I thought he was at least probably second team, but whatever.
I mean, you just played out of his mind. I do want to point out real quick before we say this. I'm pretty sure that I called the 12-0 season, and I'm also pretty sure that I called that we're playing Purdue in the Big Ten championship.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. I can't. The 12-0 season, I would pretty much bet a nut on, but the Purdue one, I don't remember if I said they would be a good team and possibly make it, or if I said they were going to make it.
I know that we were both kind of on the same page, saying that they're a team to watch.
Yeah, that's why I was like,
I don't remember you picking them, but you could have, and I think I had us at 11-1.
Yeah, because I said if we come out of Iowa, we'll be good, and I think finally I just fuck it, we're going undefeated.
I thought we would lose one of the Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan State. I thought we would lose one of those.
Yeah. Yep. And but yeah, the boys in blue, man, I mean, they fucking put it to them, and I couldn't be happier. I mean, I honestly, if we had to pick a player of the game, I don't know who the fuck I would pick. I'll pick somebody. I'll give it to the goddamn offensive line. J.J. McCarthy only sacked one time.
Yep. No
and
pigs.
we rushed for 250 some yards total.
Yep.
I mean it.
So I don't disagree with that. Again, I think you can make an argument for Cornelius Johnson because he turned water into wine on that first touchdown. Gave us
he
some
kind of sparked us
momentum, right? And also Donovan Edwards. How about the defense?
No, I like I said I said you can pick pretty much anybody and on that team, and hey, you can argue,
right?
I mean, you can argue that J.J. McCarthy decided to throw the football downfield and hit deep plays. You can argue that Colston Loveland or whatever come in as a third string tight end catching a touchdown. But you can argue that Mullins pass, which Jesus Christ, why couldn't he? I don't know what happened there because I couldn't really see because that was a weird angle where I was sitting. Well, I seen what was going on, but I couldn't see what happened that made him wait to throw the football.
So
and he did in my opinion, he shouldn't have he did the jump pass when he should have just thrown it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think either the D-line, their D-line got a little more into our side than what they expected, or he got too close and he couldn't see everybody, and he didn't want to just throw it blindly, so he did that little jump pass, and it was behind him because if that was in stride, he was gone, right?
Yeah, even if he has to because he had to completely stop to catch that football. And I mean, if he has to slow down,
right,
he's gone. There's no doubt. And going off of that, goddamn, Evil Hardball's fucking back, baby. I mean, I thought it last year, but he's back 100%. I don't care what you say, especially after the whole. What do you think about your team planting the flag in the middle of the field?
Right.
And he's like, oh, we need to get it and put it in a museum. I'm like, all right, Harbaugh, like
Right,
this is what, and that's what this. I mean, I think he quieted down because of not having the success versus Ohio State and getting to the
had
Big
to.
Ten championship.
You had to, right?
Oh, never mind. It was a replay. Oh, thank God. Sorry, I thought the Netherlands just scored again, and I was like, well, this game's over. But no, he's back, and I hope he stays. I never want to see evil Jim Harbaugh, ever leave again. I mean,
I don't think he said he wasn't. He said after last year he's done with the NFL. And I mean, if somebody comes knocking on a store with a semi-load full of cash, he's a fool not to listen to it and look at it. But
yeah.
I expect him to retire here.
Well, there's talks. There was already someone made a tweet about Andrew Luck and all them being there. This Jim Irsay, they say that he's might be interviewing for the Colts position. I'm like, no, Jeff, I promise you, Jeff Saturday is getting that job if he wants it.
Yeah, so the Buckeyes went from please sign Harbaugh to a lifetime contract to maybe he should go to the NFL. That he would do good in the NFL. His game translates in the NFL. So here's one thing before we move on: is that did you stay till the clock hit 0?
Oh, 100%.
So
I was there like 10 minutes after the game was over, 15 minutes. Like I stayed pretty much till all the players were like heading to the locker room.
So here's what and I know the answer and I know what you say, but I'm gonna still throw it out there anyways. That Stroud fumble that they said not reviewable because forward progress was stopped, right?
Yeah, I don't know how the fuck it was forward progress was stopped because it was
a bad call.
He was spinning with him and the ball came out and then he was down. I mean, I couldn't, but I'll let you finish your question because.
So if we get that ball back, right?
Yes, we score.
Tries to score.
Oh, 100%. He throws a fucking bomb. I mean, we're on like the 35-yard line. 100%. Harbaugh throws that football.
Hello.
You hear me?
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
100%. We throw that football down the field first play, try to pick up a touchdown.
Yep.
But I mean, is what it is. Holy shit, we've been talking about this for 38 minutes. There's still a lot to talk about. I told you, be ready for a long show. But yeah, I mean, great win overall. Couldn't be fucking happier. Really glad I was down there for it. I mean, as I said, went to the bars that night and walked in and said, "Oh, we're gonna run this town tonight," because it was all Michigan fans in this bar, and I was all about it. It was a great time and good win. I mean, hopefully rattle off a few more this season. Say about 3, and come back, get ready for next season. But first, got to worry about the Big Ten championship tonight. I mean, as we all know, the West is not good. We played Purdue 8-4. Aiden O'Connell probably going to be fucking balling out of his mind tonight.
Yep.
I mean, with the loss of his brother, seems like there's always something when we play a team like this, whether when we should win, where there's always something like this happens, or where, hey, we need to win it for this dude, or something like that. But I mean, we'll see. I should win. I mean, 16-point favorites, 16.5. Over unders 50 fucking 2. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, their quarterback, right, got a lot to play for. They're not called the spoil makers for no reason, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a Maryland or even Illinois type first half, and then we pull away.
I mean, if you look, go ahead.
No West team has ever won, right? Or has it happened
No.
once? Not
No West
ever.
team. So the last time, like a team in the West now won was back when it was the Legends and Leaders divisions. That was Wisconsin, and Wisconsin won it. I mean, if you look at their schedule, really any decently good team that they played, they lost to. I mean, they beat Minnesota and Illinois. They lost to Iowa and Wisconsin. I mean, the Wisconsin loss, Jesus. Wisconsin's bad, which is good for Wisconsin hiring Luke Fickell. I mean, I think the names in the fucking Big Ten now are insane, coaching wise.
It's pretty crazy.
And you have so many people that are big names in college sports, especially when UCLA and USC come. I think we talked about this last week or two weeks ago. I don't. Maybe it was over the phone. I don't remember. But I mean, when USC and UCLA come, you have Chip Kelly and Lincoln Riley.
Right.
I mean, they're both showing that they got their programs on the right track. UCLA kind of had a rough patch at the end of the season, but I think they'll turn over into the Big Ten very well, especially with now the playoff being confirmed, going to 12 teams.
Yep.
Which pretty much takes all meaning out of every single bowl game there is. But that is what it is. I mean, I think we're going to move in. I know we're kind of on a fucking rabbit hole.
Well, yeah, look at what happened to the Rose Bowl. Ohio State said, we ain't coming.
Yeah. I mean, there's just, and that, to my opinion, as I know me and you've talked about before, especially when the playoff first became a thing, was that the special feeling of going to the Rose Bowl, of going to the Sugar Bowl, of going to the Fiesta Bowl, of going to the Orange Bowl, it's gone. It's just another bowl game, really. I mean, yeah, it's a New Year's Six Bowl. Hey, congratulations. Especially the Rose Bowl. For years, the Rose Bowl was the game. That's where you needed to be if you wanted to win a national championship. You needed to be in the Rose Bowl that season. I mean, that's
granddaddy of them all.
Yeah, and now it's kind of like there's no difference between the fucking Rose Bowl and the Little Caesar Pizza Bowl in Detroit.
Right.
Other than the stadium. I mean, it's shitty. I mean, it is what it is. But back to tonight. I mean, I can see it being close. I can also see it being an absolute blowout how we played Iowa last year. Like I said, I think, as you said, keep it close in the first half. McCorm done for the season. I mean, I think you probably see Purdue sell out on the run again, like Ohio State did, and see if JJ can continue to throw the football like that, or if last week, which I don't think last week was a fluke at all. I mean, as me and you talked on the podcast like 2-3 weeks ago about his some dude's conspiracy theory about Harbaugh and JJ throwing pretty much throwing football games, not throwing football games, but not showing, like, intentionally not throwing the football well.
Right. Like literally running on 4 cylinders instead of 8. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, we're good enough to beat. We're good enough to beat them, playing 2/3 of our game, not showing it all. And I still don't know if I 100% buy it, but it's, boy,
makes you think.
Saturday's game makes you think and gave it some credibility, you know?
Yeah, and you know that dude's high and mighty right now, whether he's right or not.
Right.
He's like, I fucking told you guys, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think we win. I think we win probably 35-17, something like that. Because I think I hope I'm completely wrong and we blow them out by like we did to Iowa last year. But
Well, we did to Iowa what we did to Ohio State. Had a little bit of trickery, right, and then hit big play after big play, and just kind of stepped on their throat, and it was over with. So it'd be nice to see that. I'm not 100% confident that's going to happen. I'm probably not even 50% confident that's going to happen.
yeah, I'm in the same boat.
But it would be nice to see. It's really nice to see, even if they don't stack the box. I'd like to see them air it out a little more because if nothing else, we got to put more on film for the playoffs. For the teams that we may face to kind of scheme against.
Yeah.
Passing game wise,
Yeah. I mean, we all know what our run game is.
Yep.
Doesn't matter who's back there. We're gonna try to run the football no matter what. And, I mean, Ohio State did a good job in the first half last week of shutting it down, and then this week we need to do what we did last year and come out and play football. I mean, when it comes to the University of Michigan and that stuff, it comes down to running the football. Always has come down to running the football. We always want to smack everyone in the mouth.
Right.
But we'll see how it goes. And Netherlands is up 2-0. This is fucking
Yeah, that's over with.
Well, it just started the second half, but yeah, it's probably over. We'll see. I mean, question for you. This is I kind of feel this way and I kind of don't. Like, it's a weird, because we made it last year to the Big Ten championship. And because we did so good in the past 2 seasons, we're sitting at 24-2 over the past 2 seasons.
Yep.
Are you kind of like in that like mind frame? I mean, I kind of am, kind of not. Of like, winning is almost boring again.
A little bit.
Like tonight, like I'm not as. I mean, I get it. Like I'm excited as fuck for tonight's game. And I think the more I wake up this morning, I got home at like 4:30 last night. The more I wake up this morning, I'll probably get more excited. I will be. You get what I'm trying to say, though? Like, that weird feeling of like
complacency, right? We're not.
Yeah, thank you. Complacency is a fucking
that
awesome thing. I hate that word. I hate that fucking word, but
for a lot of years, right? We knew. Well, not even that. For a few years, we didn't even know if we were going to beat Toledo or App State, but then we went to, okay, we know we're going to take care of who we're going to supposed to take care of.
We do not mention those games.
Well, it's the truth, right?
I know.
And now that we've kind of exercised those demons about it, I can talk about it a little bit and poke fun at it a little bit, but we've kind of exercised those demons, and we went from that to, okay, we're going to beat the teams who we're supposed to beat, and we're going to beat most of the teams, but can we were just one notch below the top tier of college football. And now I'm not completely comfortable saying that we're back yet and that we're there, even though everything.
I am 100%.
Even though statistically and on paper we 100% are. That's just my 20 years of PTSD probably.
Michigan's winning the national championship.
What's that?
I said Michigan's winning the national championship.
If Blake Corum was healthy, I would just about bet the house on it. But
I think Donovan Edwards against SEC teams, though, this is kind of what I was thinking about. Like this week was after we found out that Corum was out, was that I think Donovan Edwards kind of matches up a little bit better against SEC teams, speed wise, and then catching the football. we can use him in two different ways, kind of like a Christian McCaffrey, and that's kind of who he reminds me of.
He's got one hand, man. He dislocated that thumb and had to have it surgically put back in.
There's also talks about him not wearing a cast today. So
yeah, I think they play him till we know we have the game is, and they sit his ass down is what I think. Same thing with JJ. We get a 3-score lead, and they just need to fucking sit everybody. And yeah, we got 3 or 4 weeks to heal, right? 3, a little over 3, but
New Year's Eve.
Yeah, let's not push it.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, just let us win. I mean, just let us win. All right. 2 big news coming out of Ann Arbor this week. We'll go off. I think the one that's probably going to take the longest to talk about. Cade McNamare transferring to Iowa. I mean, we all seen him going somewhere.
Yep.
I think Iowa, in my opinion, is a perfect fit for him.
I don't know where's better. I can't think of a better place for him.
Maybe Wisconsin, but I think Iowa.
Nebraska would be number 2.
Yeah, but their quarterback Thompson, he's a good quarterback. He just didn't have. Well, one, he was hurt, but I mean, I'll let you go. I know you want to talk about it before I take any of your thunder here.
Well, I think I'm going to surprise you here, and I'd like to thank Cade for all he's done. I don't think we're where we're at, where we are without him. I'm glad that he's found a place to land. He has handled it all. You know, he had a little bit of a tantrum with the media one day. And maybe even tantrums a little harsh, but fine. I think he's handled everything perfectly, right? And I wish him the best. And this is going to ruffle some feathers. I don't think that he should ever be considered a Michigan man.
Why?
Because he left. Those who stay will be champions. That is our fucking motto.
Okay. I'll fucking argue this and argue this hard. I will argue this because of the fact.
Is our motto, if somebody jumps ahead of you, go ahead and transfer?
No, stop. So we play in a different fucking time period, okay? Dinosaur. Tell me right now. You think Tom Brady would have stayed at Michigan if we had the transfer portal?
Tom Brady did stay at Michigan.
I'm saying
he went through worse than Cade did, you dumb motherfucker.
That's not even what I said. I said, do you think if the transfer portal was easy as it was today that Tom Brady stays at Michigan?
Absolutely.
I do not.
Tom Brady was leaving Michigan, and his dad told him he couldn't, and I don't think that changes now.
And, I mean, if you go back and you put the transfer portal to how it is today, where all you pretty much have to do is find a team and go.
And if you take machine guns back to the Cowboy and Indians area, then we win easily too, right? I mean, if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle. We can do this all fucking day. If
I'm against that because without Cade McNamara,
listen,
I
get
as a captain, as a captain,
and a captain that quit on his team. Year that he shut up a minute, the captain that quit on his team, the year of his captaincy, and left. Now again, I got nothing but love for Cade, right? But I think he's a Michigan football icon, but I don't think he's a Michigan man. I just don't, and I don't think that anybody could ever convince me otherwise. He left and he quit, and he was a fucking captain. And your Tom Brady analogy is perfect because he fucking stayed.
I get it, but I guarantee, and if Tom Brady was at Michigan with as easy as the transfer portal is now, Tom Brady leaves Michigan.
Yeah. And if my Aunt Michelle had balls, she'd be my uncle. Same fucking thing.
Okay, and if there's no transfer portal, Cade doesn't leave.
Oh yes, he does. He just can't quit on the team in the middle of the season. He would have to wait till after.
He physically had an injury. There's proof that he fucked up his leg.
Well, sure. He stood on the sideline and got all the benefits, clapping and cheering for the team all season long, with the exception. I knew he was leaving when they announced he didn't come to the Ohio State game.
Why, he was.
And I mean, we knew he was leaving before, right? And again, I'm not mad at Cade. I'm not throwing shade at Cade, but you know, if that was you, that was my kid, I'd advise him to do the same thing. You got to move on, but I do think that takes him down a notch in Michigan status. He's got 3 years of eligibility left, right? He played really. No, he's got 3. He's going to be able to medically redshirt this year because he only played in 3 games.
He's already redshirted though.
Not medical.
You thought you only get 1 redshirt either way.
Everything I'm reading says he's got 3 years.
So I've read 3, but like my people who actually know what they're talking about usually have only said 2.
Gotcha. So okay. So even if that's the case, is that he's got a season and a half playing Michigan and 2.5.
Yeah, he has 2.
Okay, so he's played a season and a half, parts of 3 seasons for Michigan, right? Starter for a season, a couple games in 20, right? But he's going to have more. He's going to have more stats as an Iowa Hawkeye. He's going to have more wins as an Iowa Hawkeye, probably. He is going to be an Iowa Hawkeye. He's not going to be a Michigan Wolverine. And you can't be a Michigan Wolverine and an Iowa Hawkeye or in a State Spartan or a Buckeye.
Okay. Who do you consider not Devontae Smith? I hate that motherfucker. Mike Smith. Michigan transfer out of Columbia. Who do you consider him to be?
I don't even know who that is.
Michigan's point guard.
We're talking basketball.
No, I'm just saying. It's the same thing. Transfer senior year.
Right now, he's a Michigan Wolverine, but our center from Virginia Tech, right? He's a whatever they are, a Mountaineer.
Okay, Cavalier. But let me tell you this
Cavalier,
right now. That is a different fucking scenario with him transfer.
No, it's not.
He was out of eligibility at Virginia. That's why he transferred here.
Playing for
Michigan.
Right. So what is he?
He's a Wolverine.
Right, but as far as his legacy,
he's a Wolverine.
No. How about Oki on the other side?
Oki's a Wolverine.
Played for 9 teams, right?
He's a Wolverine.
No, he's a Bama guy. That's what he'll be remembered as.
He played at Bama for like 2 games.
The only way that changes for those 2 guys is if we do win the Natty. That might help cement it. But those guys are not Michigan Wolverines. They're just not.
Well, they aren't Michigan Wolverines when, in my opinion, Olawatimi is the reason that offensive line is as good as it is.
We're not where we're at without him. Absolutely not.
In Michigan, I mean, so as Cade is a fucking Michigan man. No matter what. There's no doubt.
Okay, hang on. I just want you to do this for me. Open up Twitter. Click on Cade's profile, right?
Yeah, I get that.
Hang on.
That's anybody.
Hang on.
I know what you're saying.
And tell me what uniform he's wearing.
No shit, Dad.
Right.
Michigan
Wolverines don't wear Iowa fucking Hawkeye uniforms, motherfucker. They don't. You can get mad and shake your head, watch soccer all you want, but this is just like football picks, right? Week to week.
Fuck
I'm handing your ass to you. You think you got a point?
Oh, shut up.
I have thought about this all week, and I could argue this till fucking consumer shuts the fucking power off on us.
No fucking way.
No. Again, nothing but respect for the young man. No hate, nothing but love. But I think that it takes away from his Michigan man status.
If I would have known this way, if this was gonna be, I would have known where this was gonna go. I would have had a little bit more research to prove how fucking wrong you were.
So here's the deal, and I didn't care. You could have all the time in the world, but the reason I didn't say anything was because I knew what the look on your face would be, and I wanted to see it so bad, and it did not disappoint.
It's dumb. That's dumb in my opinion.
When you let into this, right? I'm like, oh, I got him. Oh, I got him. He thinks I'm going to be blowing smoke up Cade's ass, and I'm not. I didn't.
You're dumb for that. Like, listen, I don't.
I wanted to post my thoughts about that on Twitter so bad, but I knew, one, I would get flamed, right? And two, that you would see it. So I've kept this under wraps.
No way. That's all I'm gonna say. Uh-oh.
So on to the next one. Mozzie, right?
Stupid.
Dumb. He made a dumb mistake.
He made a fucking mistake that any 20-year-old dumb kid's
right. But here's a couple problems that I have with it, and I think this is 25 and a 30. It's, a little speed.
Yeah.
It's a paperwork procedure deal. My one big problem with it is that when he took his CPO class, he was told 50 fucking times, do not carry this until you have that, you physically have that thing in your possession. They did it to me, Charlie and Randy and Andrew Berlin just took it. They told it to them. He knew. I almost think he would have been better off not saying, "Hey, I got a gun in the car," and just got his little speeding ticket and took his whooping. But he was scared. He was scared that was going to turn into something more, and he did do the right thing, right? But had he just got a speeding ticket and moved on, nobody would have got this. He took his CPO class. He went and paid his money to get a CPL, right? And he used a CPL legally to buy the gun, but you just can't carry it till you have in Michigan until you have that physical license in your hand. And as you said, many others said, why we're not a constitutional carry state is beyond
not state,
me.
Country,
right? But he knew the rules and he broke them. And there's people that think he should go to prison for this, and I'm like, you're just dumb. Stupid. The kid's gonna get it, and this same thing with the Michigan State stuff, right? Those kids are it's all gonna get pled down. Nobody's gonna serve a day in jail. Nobody's certainly going to prison. Crump, who swung the helmet, I wouldn't be surprised if he got some community service in a pretty stiff fine. But the reality is, if he keeps his nose clean, they're going to wipe that off his record in 2 years. And the same thing should happen with Mozzie. Mozzie's going to get a little fine. He's already been embarrassed. He's embarrassed his team. He's embarrassed his family. And, maybe I think that if this was Joe Blow on the street, that they don't even press charges against him, but they felt like they had to do something because it was going to come out. I don't think they normally press charges against what basically turns out to be a paperwork technicality, right? I think his status as a Michigan football player went against him this time than favored him.
Yeah, I think so too. And like you pretty much hit on everything I was going to say. Like living down here in Mississippi, it's constitutional carry. You don't need anything. As long as you're able to own a gun legally.
Right.
Now, you can't carry in some places. The only thing that our CPL down here gives you He's like, you can carry in restaurants, churches, things like that. Like that's what our CPL done here. It just gives you more rights because you can't carry in restaurants, bars, things like that. I mean, obviously not bars because you can't technically you're supposed to conceal carry when you're drinking. But hey, Dad, do you want to buy me a Christmas present real quick?
What's that?
Charles Woodson signed Michigan helmet.
How much is it?
$1,500.
Okay, you go back and retract everything you said about Cade and call him a bum.
No,
All right.
no, I'm good. No, I just seen it. But yeah, I mean, like you said, it's nowhere near a big deal. Everyone fucking overreacted to it before everything came out.
Right.
And I figured there was
Like
something
he
more to
murdered
it.
somebody and we kept it hid for fucking 2 months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or raped
Yeah.
somebody or something. It was, like I said, I believe very strongly that had that not, that he would have just been let go and go. I also believe that, there's some contradiction on the arrest. Was he arrested? Was he, they're saying now he was placed in custody but let go at the scene. Is that I have no doubt that if that was anybody else, maybe they would have taken him to jail, but they said, hey, we're going to try to keep this quiet for you, which it goes on everywhere. I'm not saying it's right, but I don't have any problem with it. A little home cooking to help your boys out. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But, we're not talking about Baylor burying murders or OSU burying improper benefits under Trestle tattoo, prior and the tattoos and all that stuff. Bunch of fucking bums.
They're talking about Penn State burying. Yeah.
Right. Joe Pa and Larry Nasser at fucking Sparty Land. And
yeah, I ain't got that. I mean, I think you pretty much said everything that I was going to say. I don't really have anything. Dumb decision.
Yeah, for sure.
Dumb mistake. Learn from it. Sparties think he should be, like you said, locked up in prison for it. And then.
Yeah, Sparty thinks he should get the death penalty over this shit.
They think Jim Harbaugh should be fired for it too. And I'm
right.
like, listen,
and
they didn't think that anything was going to come of it. Like, and I think that's where it comes in. And why make a big deal about something when there's no charges filed?
Right.
And I mean, that's where I sit on the situation. You come down south, you go to Mississippi, Texas. That's a normal fucking day.
Right.
Normal fucking day down here. So, but you got anything else?
What was our final picks for the year? What was our score?
We ain't done yet, motherfucker. I forgot. Thank you for reminding me about picks.
Well, you texted me yesterday, said you can't beat me, so I just assumed we were done.
Yeah, I can. I mean, I figure I'm not going to keep track of today's picks. Yeah, they were not good. I sucked last week too, but
so yesterday I picked Utah, right? You went with
fuck
USC.
No. Hell fucking no. I have text message proof, motherfucker. That's why I texted you. I go with USC. My ass. I'm about to be sick, dude. You want me to prove it?
No, I know what it says.
Yeah.
It says Utah.
No, it says USC. I don't remember. What the fuck is the fun? Yeah. I finished above 500. That's all that matters. 43 and 17.
Whoo, that's pretty good.
31 and 28.
Ooh, that's pretty bad.
And I didn't even look at last week's picks with Aaron. So, yeah.
So who you got today? TCU?
I don't know. K-State's a good team. not a great team, but a good team. I mean, that if they lose, that can really throw a fucking wrench into things of Michigan Ohio State meeting possibly in the first round.
I think that might be 2-3 then.
I mean, I'll probably go with TCU. But again, every time I pick somebody, they fucking decide to lose a football game when they should win. So, yeah, TCU by probably 2 scores if they play how they should. In my opinion.
I'm going with Kansas State today.
Yeah, it's a tight one. I mean,
been a crazy year in college football, right? And I think
I'm over it. I'm over picks. We'll see. I mean, it is the Big 12. The Big 12 has no goddamn defense. So, all right. SEC championship, LSU, Georgia, in Atlanta. So pretty much a fucking home game for Georgia.
Yep.
This one I will take the underdog on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna take LSU.
Me too.
I think why? I mean, I know it don't matter, but every fucking time I pick somebody where it actually could happen, like where LSU's gonna win now. Great. Maybe I picked LSU because I wanted them to lose. No, I think Georgia falls asleep a little bit. This should probably be a good game. I mean, the one I was talking about earlier, Tulane or UCF at Tulane, number 18 versus number 22, so top 25 matchup down at Tulane University in New Orleans. I think Tulane wins. Tulane's
UCF.
Thank God. And then tonight, same time Michigan plays ACC. Clemson, North Carolina.
Yeah, I think that might be the best game today. But I think, you know what? Hell with it. I'll go with North Carolina.
Fuck. Stop.
I said it first, so you're copying me now.
I was going to go North Carolina all the way. Clemson is squeaked by so fucking much this season. So much they've squeaked by. But yeah, I think North Carolina pulls it out. I can still catch a flight to Detroit and go to the game.
So when I got up this morning, right, and one of the guys on my tailgate page was offering 4 free tickets, and I thought
tickets are only $85 right now.
Yeah, something come up, he couldn't go. He's like, I just want Michigan people to go. DM me.
That shit, you could sit in the end zone for 153 or for 191. I was sitting there, I was like,
so here's my dilemma, right? This is the first year in as long as you've been alive, I think, that I've not been to a Michigan game, and it's worked out really well. So I ain't doing it. That's my superstitious Fanamania bullshit.
Yep. So, but if Georgia loses today, Michigan gets that 1 seed, and they pick Atlanta. Are you coming? I'm going. If Michigan plays in Atlanta in the first.
Yeah, I don't think I can miss that.
Michigan plays in Atlanta in the playoffs first round. It's fucking 5 hours away. I'm going. Right. I can drive there.
The only way we're doing that is if Georgia loses.
No, Georgia, because once he gets pick where they want to play. If not, they're going to Arizona, and I'm not going to Arizona.
Right.
If that's the case, I'll fucking save money. No, I'm not going to that either. There's way too much goddamn money. Especially it ended up being fucking Michigan, Ohio State.
Right.
I can't fucking imagine. The tickets for the fucking Michigan Ohio State game at Ohio was fucking stupid.
Right.
Let alone what it'd be for a national title. I think the cheapest ticket to national title game right now is like $800 anyways, but I don't know. Oh shit. USA just scored. But yeah, we'll see. But
All right, guys. We'll
yeah, I'm tired. I just got really, really tired there towards the end.
we'll hit you. Maybe we'll hit something tomorrow, but more than likely, CFP comes out Sunday, right?
Yeah, we'll probably do something tomorrow night.
Yeah, something big happens for sure. We'll be on tomorrow and kind of recap the season. Hopefully, we're talking about our second consecutive Big Ten championship, and we'll have a clear picture on.
I need another one of these.
Yes, sir.
That's what I want. But yeah, guys, go blue and beat Purdue, take home that Big Ten championship.